For those of you that just want something fun and a bit crazy, and it's called Oh My Gods by Alexandra Shepherd. And this is brilliant, fun, enjoyable silliness. It's a girl called Helen Thomas, and she's just moved down to London to live with her dad. And she's basically just dealing with the trials and tribulations of being a teenager at a new school. She's having to make new friends. She's trying to sneak out to parties and have secret house parties of her own, but with one main difference. And that is that her dad is Zeus, leader of all the Greek gods. And she's surrounded by a family of Greek gods that choose to live a normal life on Earth, masquerading as humans and hiding their powers instead of living at Mount Olympus, which they think is boring. So, as you can imagine, this makes Helen's life somewhat complicated. And if that wasn't bad enough, Aphrodite, who is the most stunning woman in all of creation and is the completely self-obsessed goddess of beauty, is her sister. And there's a brilliant extract in here about when Aphrodite comes into her room completely butt naked to talk to Helen about some ground rules for living together, and she ends up doing something horrible to Helen's hair. It's really funny. If you want to read it when you get the book, the extract is pages 17 to 19. But there are some laugh out loud moments, and more than anything, it's just a really great school story about friendship with a quirky twist that involves some Greek gods. You'll enjoy reading about Helen trying to live a normal life surrounded by a very much less than normal family. So that's Oh My Gods by Alexandra Shepherd.
My next book is called The Craving by Cliff McNish. This is quite a thin book, so if you prefer books that are a bit of a quicker read, not so many pages to them, then this could be the one for you. And it's about a 15-year-old boy called Elias, and his life is changing. Because one night, he is weirdly drawn towards the smell of something in the fridge. And when he finds the bag of human offal in there, he is absolutely repulsed at himself for actually thinking about eating it. As he realises there and then, that night, that he is a vampire, and his mum and his dad are too. And they've been waiting for the day when he finally changes into this vampire. But Elias is resisting it. He does not want to drink human blood. It is not going to happen. But they just won't take no for an answer. So this is gory, it's pretty gruesome. So if you love being grossed out, then this is definitely the book for you.
If fantasy is more your thing, the latest novel by Frances Hardinge is absolutely brilliant. It's called Deep Light, and it's about Hark and Jelt, who are scavengers and tricksters living off their wits in the island of Ladies' Crave. One night they're trying to steal something, and Hark is caught. And as a punishment, he's sold off to a sanctuary to serve the decrepit old priests that live there. The old religion is long gone. People used to worship creatures that came out of the oceans, and only the priests and pieces of the gods or godsware are left. When Jelt tries to recover a piece of godware from the ocean, he and Hark bite off more than they can chew. And it's up to Hark to stop the old gods from returning and wreaking their vengeance on the island. But can he save his friend Jelt and uncover the truth about the old gods? A really vivid and engaging fantasy, really unputdownable, absolutely a wonderful world that Frances has created. So if you love fantasy stories, you'll absolutely get immersed completely in Deep Light. Absolutely wonderful stuff.
Let's get started. First book I want to talk to you about is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus. My goodness, I've given this book and recommended this book to so many people. It is incredible. It is a murder mystery set in a school, a high school in America. And, well, let me explain. There are 5 teenagers, students at the school that all end up in detention. They're a real mixed bunch of characters. So some you would expect to find in detention, some you wouldn't. We have Bronwyn, she's the super geek. We have Addie, the prom queen. We have Nate, who's got this real kind of criminal personality and kind of reputation in school. We have Cooper, who's an athlete, who's got a really big secret. And we have Simon, who's this real outcast character who is a bit suspicious. During that detention session, one of them is murdered. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you who did it or who was murdered, but it's really exciting because straight away everybody suspects the remaining 4 students that were in the detention. But how did they do it? Who did it, obviously, and why did they do it? Did it have something to do with the gossip app that has been created to spread rumour and intrigue around the school? You'll have to read it to find out. There is a sequel to this book called One of Us is Next. It features some of the same characters, but it's a completely different crime, shall we say. So you can read them both separately or you can read them both together, which is definitely what I would recommend because they are incredible. So this is One of Us is Lying by Karen M. McManus.